What's up? So last week I reviewed Fear Street Part 1, 1994, 1996, one of the, whatever one it is. Yeah, and it's a really good slasher film. It's very well put together, well thought out, and it's the first one in a trilogy that they're doing on Netflix, which is one a week for 3 weeks. And I finally got to checking out the second one. So this is Fear Street Part 2, 1978. It's a Netflix original, released July 8th, 2021. It was directed by Lee Janiak, who has also done like Honeymoon. Obviously, she did Fear Street 1994, the first one, and apparently she's directing the Part 3, which is 1666, which I'll probably check out soon. But yeah, so Fear Street Part 2 picks up right up where the last one left off, where the two characters, brother and sister, find the one girl that they try to call for help with in the first one, and she tells them the story of her experience at Camp Nightwing in 1978 with her sister and all the camp counselors and stuff. This is your typical camp slasher film, very reminiscent of the early Friday the 13th, The Burning, those type of films, with the same sort of killer aspect as in the previous film. So, yeah, this one takes a little while to start up, though. You definitely got a lot of good character build-up, and you get to know the characters pretty well. Some of them come off as assholes and stuff like that, but then you learn to start caring for them a little bit more. The kill count is not super high in this one, and you don't see very many of the other killers except for quick little flashbacks. But overall, it's a slasher film. What can I say? And they definitely use a good lighting technique. So same contrast from the book. So like if you look at the old Fear Street book covers, they'll have like neon colors and stuff, or same with like the black light posters that are in like the first film. And they used a lot of the same sort of lighting techniques, where first one had like red and blue, this one's like orange and green for the most part, and it really adds a good dynamic to the film and the quality of how it was made. Definitely the production value and everything's top notch. The acting is really good too. There's a lot of familiar faces in this one from like Stranger Things and other Netflix shows. So there's definitely going to be, if you're like into like actors and stuff, unlike me, yeah, you'll definitely recognize a pile. So yeah, so and when the kills happen, they are spread out to the point where it's pretty impactful once they do get killed and stuff. And there's some that catch you off guard, and that I kind of wish they did something a little more interesting with some of them. For the most part, it's a hack and slash type film. Not like there's nothing really creative about the kills. Where like the first one, you have more of like a whole pile of them all killing and stuff, and then different ways. This one is just one killer and going on. And then they also talk about the folklore a little bit more in this one, try to explain it a bit more to um, help understand what's going on. And it's actually really intriguing to see, and it was a really unique, interesting way they decided to do that. And the way they shot it and everything like that was pretty interesting in a good way, and it ties everything up with the first film. So going back into doing a prequel was actually kind of a decent thing. Now, the biggest problem I have with this film is it feels like it's the second one of a trilogy. It feels like, yeah, this is the middle of the road. So they explain some things, and they give you like what you'd expect, but they can't go any further till the next one. So you're kind of stuck in that middle ground, I find, with it, which is almost generic zone for films, where a lot of like new slasher films and stuff like that kind of just sit in this zone, where this one, it kind of just put itself there. And but they try to expand certain parts of the story and everything and make it a little more interesting. There's a lot of difference and stuff in it, which kind of makes it kind of cheesy almost and very Stranger Things esque. But overall, it's still a good hack and slash slasher film, and it ties well in with the whole first one. So, yeah. Overall, I thought this film was pretty good. It's a little slow in some scenes and stuff, but when the kills start coming, they're impactful. That's for sure. A lot of the characters, you're gonna feel the brutality and stuff in it. The ending's a little bit predictable too, I thought, but you kind of have to have that. It obviously goes to trace back to the first film, but overall, it was still a decent attempt at a slasher film. It's better than most slasher films that come out these days still. And the gore effects and everything like that, practical effects, were all top notch. Even the CG that's mixed in with the gore effects is pretty well done too. So, yeah. With that, I'm going to give Fear Street Part 2 1978 a 4 out of 5. It's just a step down from the first one, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they progress the story forward by going all the way back to 1666, which is which is going to be the origin of all the problems happening. So if you haven't started checking this series out, definitely start checking it out. This is probably some of the way better slasher films being produced these days than I've seen in a while. So definitely check them out. They're fun, they're good, they're gory, and overall it's a good time. Also, this has a really killer soundtrack from the 70s. If you like 70s rock and stuff, you'll love the soundtrack in this. Very top notch. So definitely check it out. There's a trailer link down below like always, and it's also on Netflix, so go check it out. It's on Netflix. Everyone usually has a Netflix account, right? So go see it if you haven't. It's really fun. So yeah, there's a trailer link down below, and my Instagram's always linked down below, where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story, and I usually hide the film title and a hashtag somewhere in the video clip and the subgenre of film in there in case it's something you're not interested in, you're aware of it. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, stay in the loop. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below and the trilogy of what you thought of it and how you think of it and whatever down below as well. Also, if you have any films that you think that you want to hear my opinions on, or you think will just interest me and you want to hear me talk about them, comment those down below too. I'll watch anything. So yeah, comment them down below and I'll try my best to get to them, and that's if I can find them as well. So yeah, and also make sure you subscribe. So, because you never really know what I'm going to talk about next. I'm probably not going to do the third one yet, because I got a couple other more B-movie-ish videos I want to do. So I'm probably going to talk about some of those first, and then come back to it. But yeah, so Fear Street Part 2, 1978 is a good sequel, but it's what you'd expect. But overall, they do dish it out pretty good. So watch out for all those killers in the woods, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So cheers.